Hi friends, hey, welcome to my dining room. Hey, today we're going to share with you our thought process and how we go about decorating the dining table for a fall dinner or for Thanksgiving. My inspiration for my dining room table actually came from when we went to the vintage market this year. They had a beautiful vintage dining room table set up in the entrance to the market with old chairs, just mismatched chairs, and it was so beautiful with the natural elements. They used natural grasses, they used slabs of wood, the colors were very neutral. It looked relaxed and yet elegant, and I just loved the look of it. And so I decided I'd like to create my version of the inspiration that I got from that vintage table at the vintage market this year. All right, so before I decided how to do this tablescape, I first decided what my place setting was going to look like. And my inspiration table did have kind of a wicker kind of charger. I didn't have wicker. I'm only using items that I had on hand, so I am not running out to buy new items, but I did have these galvanized chargers that I picked up in the summer at Hobby Lobby. They were from the spring collection and they were 70 or 80% off, so they were cheap. So I picked up a bunch of these then because I liked them, and so that gives you that kind of rustic farmhouse look with this. And so I'm going to use that as my charger, as my inspiration, and then I'm going to use my everyday dishes because they are neutral. And they kind of look a little bit vintagey, so I'm just going to use this dinner plate and the salad plate. I'm going to stack those. And then I've got this napkin. Now, I picked up these napkins last fall, I believe, at a sale at Bed Bath & Beyond. And everything was, remind me, Steph, how much were they? Something off the clearance price. They were cheap. Super clearance. They were so clearance. And I loved the pattern of these. It's got a nice linen look to it. It's got a little bit of blue and a little bit of kind of a mustardy yellow and some orange. So I'm going to layer that over my dinner plate and then stack my salad plate on top. Now, once I have my table setting place figured out, that helped me decide on what I was going to actually cover the table with. For the linens that I'm going to layer on this table, I'm actually going to use a throw that I picked up at IKEA. It's gray and it's got a nice little plaid in there of mustard, and I'm just going to drape that on my table. Yeah, on an angle. It's not going to cover the whole table. Okay. And then on top of this, I'm going to layer a burlap runner. And that's going to give me a little bit of a rustic look along with a little bit of an elegant look. As you can see here that on the head of the table that I am using yellow plates. I picked up these at a consignment store and I was going to use them to make a tiered tray, but I thought they would look really pretty. Actually, Stephanie thought they would look really pretty to accent these on the table. So we're using 2 sets of the yellow plates along with my neutral plates for the table. the centerpiece, I knew that I wanted to bring in some natural grasses in vases and then also candlesticks, candles to add that warmth and that cozy feel that you like to have in the fall. So I tried at first just putting that on the table runner and it felt like it needed something more. So I decided to pull out my galvanized tray. It's got a pretty copper rim on it, so it looks really nice with the mustard and earthy tones. And so I'm going to place that in the center, and then I'm going to add my candlesticks into the tray. So I'm just using candlesticks that I have picked up, thrift store, vintage markets. They're just old brass, gold candlesticks, and I'm just gonna vary them in there. None of them match, just have a lot of variety here. Let's see. That one in the middle. Okay, now I'm gonna bring in some that are a little shorter, have these shorter candlesticks, or the little votives on them. Kind of vary the height. All right, now the next element I'm going to add is just a few little pumpkins. Got a variety here of pumpkins that are from the Dollar Tree that spray painted gold. So I'm just going to tuck a few of those here and there in between the candles.
Again, just using stuff we've had on hand. We got these for the fall decor, used them in our Halloween decor too, and now for our tablescape.
Right, so we can just pull and use them all over. Okay, next I want to, actually let's bring in the grasses. All right, I wanted to bring in some natural grasses, and so I had these vases already that I had picked up years ago, and then in the bottom I've put in eucalyptus pods, kind of bring in another element of texture. I'm going to place those at each end of my table, and then I've just put in grasses that are actually weeds. They were growing on the side of the road,
but
and
they're awesome.
They are so beautiful. You've got variations in color, kind of a reddish brown to the light taupe tan color, and I thought they were so beautiful. And let me just share a little tip on these grasses as well, is if you were to just cut them and bring them in the house and display them, the seeds would start to fall off. I mean, that's their job, is to produce seeds in the fall so that there are more grasses in the next year. But if you just take those little fronds, I guess is what you would call them, and just give them a spritz of hairspray, it seals all of those little seed pods in place, and they will not make a mess all over your house. So I've done that to all of the grasses, and I love the way that looked. Now I'm just going to fill in with some greenery and some more pumpkins to complete the look. These are eucalyptus pods that I picked up off of the beach when we were in Monterey, and I have used them for years just to accent my fall decor. I love sprinkling little elements around the table. Sometimes it's candy, sometimes it's just natural elements. But if you don't have seed pods from the beach in Monterey, you could always sprinkle some small acorns around the table, or maybe some fall leaves, or just something to add that little extra layer of beauty to your tabletop. And finally, I'll just light the candles on the centerpiece here, and it will give off that beautiful warm glow and create that warmth that we want for our fall and Thanksgiving tablescape. Here's a little recap of what I used for my Thanksgiving or fall tablescape here. I've brought in the brass candlesticks with the candles to give off that warmth and shimmer and glow. Placed them in my galvanized tray and layered them in with some gilded pumpkins, just simple pumpkins from Dollar Tree that we spray painted gold, and then tucked in some natural pumpkins as well, some vine pumpkins and some natural toned pumpkins. I also added that eucalyptus greenery. Mine is artificial, but you could tuck in some natural greenery if you'd like to do that. And then we sprinkled around the table those seed pods. Now, if you don't have seed pods, you could use acorns, you could use leaves, you could even sprinkle some candy around the table. And then at each place setting, I've used the galvanized charger and then layered on my everyday dishes, the natural looking dish, and then topped it with that burlap pumpkin. The table is also topped with the gray plaid throw and layered on with a burlap table runner. And then to finish everything up, we also brought in the natural grasses that I picked up off of the side of the road. So be creative. Think about the natural elements that are in your area that you can incorporate into your home. So everything for this tablescape was items that I already had on hand. I didn't have to run out and buy anything, and I love the look that it brought to my fall table. It feels rustic, yet it feels elegant and inviting and ready to entertain. I'm now ready to entertain my guests for the holiday. Thank you for watching this Sunnyside design video. We hope this has been helpful to you and you've gotten some ideas for creating your own beautiful Thanksgiving table. You'll find information in our description section. You'll also find links to all of our social media. We invite you to follow us along there, and also you'll find a link to our website where you will find more ideas that you will not find here on our YouTube channel. Once again, we thank you for watching a Sunnyside design tutorial or video where we hope to bring your home to the sunny side of the street.